is our season finale, so it's an hour and a half super enduro. It's 11 laps in total. It is just over an hour and a half, actually. And it is grueling. It is not an easy time, but we are all here. We're all in it together.
In Hell is famously made Monica by Jackie Stewart. Wow, what a track. Obviously here on the full 24-hour track at Nürburgring today. It's going to be tough. Fatigue's going to set in. We've already seen it happen in a few of the other divisions that have already raced. But we've got a cracker here at Div 2. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I certainly am. We've said it many times this season, and Div 2 is basically from Div 1 in here. We can see Rexy, we can see Dragon, we can see Zoo, Ben, Ando. They're all Div 1 pace, so should be really, really good. Doing our visuals tonight as well is Broken Spoke. Good evening, Spoke.
How you going, guys? It's good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to share the box with you again. So we should be getting underway any second now, but who was going to be your pick for the race, boys?
Oh, that's going to be a tough one. I've stayed well away from getting out on the Nürburgring this week and sat this round out. So, my form guide is probably not one to look at. But look, we've got Zuzu on pole. So let's see if he can get ahead and pull away with it. It's going to come down to whoever makes the least amount of mistakes today. That's for sure.
Yeah, keeping it clean, keeping it on the track is definitely the entire aim of this. If I was able to do that in my race just before, I would have been in a couple of positions further up, but that's the way it rolls sometimes. And you may not be the quickest person on track, but if you can keep it clean, you can certainly walk away with a W.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty hard to probably go past Zuzu on pole, but through the week, I've seen a bit of speed come from Super Dragon and Madriski, and like you say, I think if they can keep it on the black stuff, it'll go a long way to putting it towards the pointy end of the field at the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It also depends on the opening couple of laps as well. We're going to see a mix of people on softs and mediums. So we do have to do a mandatory stint on mediums here around this track. Some people like to do 1 lap, some people like to do 2, others even 3 laps on mediums. So it can really play with you. If you get stuck behind someone on mediums through the first part of the Nordschleife, it can really mess with you, both in your head and with your time. So, your opening lap can certainly play into the strategy if you're able to hold a few people up and it's highly potential. We'll see that tonight.
Yeah, Captain, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Madriski goes tonight. Madriski, the only Div 3 runner in tonight's race, and he's currently leading the Div 3 championship. And I tell you what, he's got a bit of pace here, so he's definitely improved. One of my teammates from the leftovers, so we'll see what he can do with the rest of the Div 1 and Div 2 regulars tonight.
Yeah, fully agree with that. I've been in a few practice lobbies throughout with Mid, and yeah, he's actually quite consistent, and he's been able to pull off some fantastic times. So definitely being on the front. Oh, sorry, no, he's on the second row of our starting grid. He'll definitely be one to watch out for. We should be getting underway any minute now. Ben's just given us a 3-minute warning. Hopefully everyone's all ticked in and on their starting tyres.
Plenty of time to practice one sector here at Nürburgring.
I think it's 16. You're dealing with tyre where each corner, each sector is going to be different each time you come. Memory is a very big thing around the track. It's not one that I've learned to figure out. I'm coming into a corner and when I feel like I need a break. So I'm probably not maximising my pace completely, but like I said before, you really just got to keep on the black stuff, and you should walk away with a decent finish time.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but carrying the black stuff here is definitely difficult. And of course, there are the famous jumps here on the Nordschleife, the North Loop part of the track, and we've seen it in a few other divisions already. If you just get air at the wrong time and your front wheels come off, sometimes that can push you wide, and yeah, you're going to have an arm co-repair. That's pretty much what happens around here. So it's going to be a good one. What's a regular lap time we're expecting tonight, Captain?
We have seen Zoo just drop an 8:14 in practice. I'm not sure if that's going to be a 2-lap or 3-lap pace. really depends on the strategy as well as to how quick people will get around here. So the fastest lap from what I saw in Div 1 was 8:09 from Adam V, which is not surprising at all. That is lightning quick. I think that's only less than a second off of my qualifying time, which is, as some of you may know, we run without tyre wear and without fuel. Without fuel usage, and for him to be able to do that in race trim on an opening lap, that's outstandingly quick. So congratulations to Adam for the fastest lap, I do believe. But yeah, so I would be thinking around that 8:14, potentially 8:13 mark if someone's able to snatch it on the last lap doing a 2-lap stint.
And you mentioned the difference there in strategy. We've seen it play out already. There's a couple of different vehicles. Obviously, we're in the Group 3 cars tonight. So a few running the Lexus. We've also got the Corvette, the FT1, and a few others out there as well. The Porsche 911, which seems to potentially struggle a little bit for straight line speed, if I'm right. What's, depending on your vehicle, are you looking at a potential different strategy tonight?
Yeah, what vehicle you're in is certainly going to play a huge part in that. If you're able to fuel save at the vet, that is going to be something definitely to watch out for. I know you can get 3 laps out of it, but it is a bit of a pull. You've really got to short shift and maximise the fuel efficiency of that car. The Lexus is pretty good. We can see that easily get a 3-lap stint out of it if you do some creative short shifting. The Porsche is actually quite good. So the difference, you can get 3 laps out of a stint in that one as well. And, you're able to rev it out. So it's a matter of, so I'm just telling Ben that we're good to go. It's really a matter of being able to prioritise your exit and aim for that fastest straight line speed in the Porsche, which is definitely something you can do because you can rev it out and still not use as much fuel as some of the big V8s. So, there's a lot that goes into it. I've not seen a competitive 3-lap stint out of the Supras. That is definitely one that you are likely to see a 2-lap stint out of. But then again, I could be proven wrong. It could be 3 laps. So either way, you're doing a minimum of 3 stop around here. You either come in on lap 1 or lap 2, and then run 3-lap stints and never on out. If you're doing 1 lap on your mediums and then cranking out 2-lap stints, you end up with 5 stopper if my maths is correct. Pit stops here are actually quite long, so about 45 seconds. It can really throw you into the mix of people either in front or behind you. As we see the race getting kicked off, everyone's lined up on the grid. The Corvette out in front of the Zoo, they get a fantastic start. The Zoo get off to a great start with Ben close behind him as well.
So who do we want to jump on board with, boys?
I think we'll jump on with Ben. May as well.
Can do that.
And lights are out, they're off. Ben's got a bit of a squirrely start, actually. The Vet and Super Dragon's been able to duck up the inside and pick up a couple of positions already. Zoo's off to a flyer. He's already through the first step in, getting across. Oh, we're seeing a bit of touch and go here. Mid's just been tapped in the rear, almost turned around. It's going to be unlucky for Mid. He was looking for a good start here, and he's now further towards the back of the field.
Exactly what you don't want on lap 1. Basically up the front of the field. In the GP track, you want to keep it, and as we see Ben sliding there through the right-hander as well.
Yeah, but it's always the way. Turn 1 of a 20-kilometre circuit, it's tough. You're really wanting to get that position early, but you've really got to understand that it's a 20-kilometre circuit and it is an hour-and-a-half race. So unfortunate there for Mid, but there's, like I said, an hour-and-a-half to go, so plenty of time to recover.
If we drop back to Evil 1 in the Lexus series, definitely on a bit of a charge. Just the move on Tex and looking to get around Smurf now before he gets out onto the Northcliffe.
Yeah, he's made that move stick quite nicely, actually. He has started on softs and he's looking to make a move further up the field. So Evil 1, keep an eye on him as the race progresses. Elsewhere, it looks like everyone's fallen back into line. Not seeing too much going on here, but we are seeing a difference in tyres, there's majority of the front runners are on softs, which is no surprise. And as we move back, the first medium runner is
Teaksy.
Dale in sixth.
Yeah, got Cloquet right behind him on the softs as well in that FT1. He'll definitely be wanting to get past. We've seen in previous divisions, if you're out of the Nordschleife and you're sitting behind someone on mediums, it can really cost you on those softs.
You see him jump up and over this first crest into a sweeping double right-hander. I love this section of the course. It takes so much commitment. You're nearly flat foot the entire way as we just over 260k an hour through this section. It's incredible to drive.
Yeah, I just get confused. Right, left, which way are we going?
Well, it's definitely one of those muscle memory things. You can certainly find a groove, but boy, is it easy to lose that groove and lose your place on track.
Yeah, it is a fantastic track. We've got Zuzu up the front leading at the moment. Just a bit of a gap on Ben, just outside of the slipstream. But of course, there's a lot of the lap left before we get down to that big straight. So they'll be wanting to consolidate and pull out from the start here and get a little bit of a gap on the medium runners. That's for sure.
Yeah, they absolutely will be. From the very first few minutes of this race, I can see that Zoo is preserving his tyres and fuel a lot better than both Ben and Rexy there in third, or second and third. So I expect to see Zoo potentially going for 3-lap stints here, and Ben and Rexy doing 2-lappers.
What's your feeling on the 3-lapper? Do you prefer to spend less time in pit lane? Would you be happy taking the time and just having the confidence under you with the tyres and not needing to fuel save and just concentrate on the track? Or does slowing up a little bit actually make it a little bit easier? And when you are saving fuel, you're not pushing it as hard and it's less likely to make a mistake.
Exactly that ladder. At least for me anyway, I found it a lot easier to just manage myself and go that little bit slower. You're not pushing as hard. Oh, we've got yellow flags out. What have we got yellow flags out for? Oh, Ben in third, just dropped back into fourth, has unfortunately come the guts there on that uphill right-hander. It's so easy to do. He has escape damage, so hopefully he won't lose out too much more time. And unfortunately, unfortunately for Ben, luckily for everyone, has jumped up into third. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Ash, what was your question just before?
Yeah, we're just having a chat about strategy, and if you're going the 3-lap and taking it a little bit easier, as I'm just watching Smooth Blanket put a bit of look up the inside of the Cloquet, but thinks the better of it. But yeah, if you're going the 3-lapper, you're just a little bit happier to take your time, get through the lap, and not push it as much, or is the risk of going faster and potentially having an off worth it with the pit time here?
It truly depends on your knowledge of this track. Some people know it like the back of their hand and can crank out those quick 2-lappers and manage that pit time loss a lot better than what I was able to. So I've definitely gone with the 3-lap stint. You go that little bit slower, a little bit more calm, and you can really manage yourself a bit better. And like you say, that risk of having an off is reduced enough that it was able to be the optimum strategy for me. But unfortunately, I did suffer some damage in my race and ended up doing the same amount of pit stops as some of the other strategies, which brought me right into the thick of it. So should have been a bit further up, but that's the way it rolls. The green hell, it is unrelenting.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of damage over the course of the races so far, and plenty in the previous Div 3 races as well. So you can be on that 3-lapper and have that off and tap the wall, and all of a sudden you've got to make a pretty quick decision on whether you can look after the car with that damage.
You really have
probably preferring to have the rear damage and just coast it around, or if you've got the front damage though, it's going to make it a bit. Just looking back at Madriski here, trying to get back through after that first lap spin, putting the moves on Smooth Blank. It was around the outside, but he just couldn't manage to get through.
Yeah, fantastic battle opening up between Midrisky and Smooth Blanket from 8th position there. Jumping back further in the field, though, I will point out Corbin and Spence are really, really close to each other at the moment. Unfortunately, Corbin does have some damage, so he's Kamagutsa on lap 1, which is unfortunate. Can't see any damage for Spence. It's really just proving how difficult it is to get past someone here. So it doesn't look like Spence has damage, but Corbin does, and he's being able to hold him up so far.
Well, as the leaders come on to the back straight, obviously the best passing opportunity here with the slipstream. Where else would you be looking around the track to make a safe pass?
Oh, it's tough. If you can get the overspeed on the GP circuit, that is definitely one of the easier places to overtake. Like I said before, if the person being overtaken is compliant, understanding that you're on different strategies, different corner pace, there are a couple of different spots you can let it happen. Majority of the time, though, they're the high speed straight sections of the course. Outside of that, you've really got to be lucky if someone makes a mistake and can zoom straight past them. So this back straight, even though it is 8 minutes plus each time you come around, is one of the prime overtaking opportunities for sure.
Yeah, just off at the back of the pack, Spence sitting in the slipstream of CCH there with engine damage. He's managing to hold him off, so I don't know if I can't see engine damage on Spence's car, but they're both going a little bit slow there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on what's happened with Spencer as well. Given the engine damage on Corbin, I would have expected him to go flying past. Given the engine damage of Corbin, I would have expected Spence to go flying past, but not sure entirely what's happening there. But we'll see if they both come into the pits, and there's just a bit of a GT Sport glitch. So also see Smooth coming into the pits as well. So he's doing a 1-lap dash in his mediums, gotten them out of the way early.
Yeah, he used a fair bit of fuel, so use the car up there. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks with a 2-stop strategy now, or if he tries to push that super out to a 3-lap strategy. Sorry.
Yeah, from here it's quite tough because doing 3 laps you'll still end up with we see Midrisky make a fantastic move. Well, at least I did. Sorry, for 7th position there into that hairpin. Feel free to queue up a replay if you're able to, Spoke. That was a great dive into the hairpin.
Yeah, we'll see what we can pull up.
Beautiful.
Now, it looks like he
CCH
already had the move done, so we just missed it, but it looked like it would have been a pretty good move coming into that sweeper.
Yeah, got the move done into the hairpin of the GP circuit, so must have just had that nice overspeed out of that downhill section. He's already looking to make moves on Dale there as well. So mid, after his early unfortunate spin in turn 2, is definitely looking to make up for it. He's putting the pressure on Dale as we come into the first section of the Nordschleife off of the GP circuit. We do see Dale on the medium, so that is likely to hurt Midrisky a little bit, because Dale's corner speed and braking abilities will be impacted being on the slower tyre. We'll stay on with this battle for a little bit. There is a good overtaking opportunity coming up. So once we get through these S's of the first sector here, there's a good dip on the left-hander. If you can get yourself close, and then just after this double right-hander is a really good overtaking opportunity if you're in slipstream, which Midrisky certainly is. It's a good opportunity for him to make an overtake in this next straight.
He's right at the back of Teeks now, looking for that opportunity. Just got to bide your time, Midrisky.
He's closing in, but not enough. Dale has been lucky to pull into the slipstream of Smurf, his fellow teammate in front of him. She's certainly been able to hold off mid along that overtaking opportunity there.
Yeah, covers the inside line there. Clever by Dale Teeks there, just getting up and using his teammate slipstream to defend that spot there in 7th. This is a good little battle pack here from 6th all the way back to almost Cloakade in 8th, who's just off the back of these guys now.
Cloakade is on soft, and the front runner there being Smurf is on soft as well, but we do see Dale in the mediums. So this group of 3, potentially 4, like you say, is really, really close.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier too. If you're on those softs, you really want to be able to get past them. And Drifty unfortunately had that spin from the tap on lap one. He's back in the back now, and he's just not able to take advantage of the speed that he's currently got.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because I started further back in the field, so down on the grid, and definitely started on mediums because I knew that there would be a lot of close driving, close drivers throughout the first 1 or 2 laps. Definitely got my slower tyre stint out of the way first, which, if I was starting further up like Majewski was, I would I'd be a little bit annoyed that I'm further down the pack on the quicker tyre.
Captain, you're in Majewski's seat at the moment. Where are you looking for your next passing opportunity?
There is a good overtaking opportunity if Majewski is able to get the overspeed. So just after this right-hander, as it ducks down and through, if you can get a good exit here, so it looks like he's been able to close in on Dale. There is just enough of an opportunity on the right. Depends on where Dale's going to place his car. I see Dale's parking it right in the middle, not giving Majewski any opportunity. Again, this right-hander, if Mid's able to get a good exit, there's a big uphill here. As we see Mid's just getting alongside. No, has to duck back in. It's a really tough section here, but you can just get an overspeed. Coming into one of the quicker corners on the circuit, an uphill left-hander that Dale and I have affectionately named Carriage Corner. So you do a little bit of a lift off into the... he's gone side by side. Is he going to get the make... they're not going side by side here. No, Majewski's dirt dropped, and wow, he's been able to keep a hold of that. I do not know how he's pulled that off.
Dale Teeks, what defence there. That is fantastic. It's obviously cost him the slipstream from Smurf and your mum up in front of his teammate. Wow, to be able to hold off Majewski on the soft tyre there, that was wow, that was edge of your seat stuff.
Dale named the corner Carriage Corner, and he definitely had courage going into that and was able to hold it through the inside. How, I don't know, but he pulled that off and defended absolutely epically. That's stunning move, stunning from both riders, and Majewski to dirt drop and not go into the wall on a 250 an hour corner. Outstanding.
That was impressive. As we look up the front of the field again, Rex Buckingham sitting just 0.8 back from Zuzu. As they come through this kind of last sector, will definitely be looking to pull that gap in a little bit and try and get the slipstream as they come back onto the back straight.
Absolutely, he is. Looking at the fuel usage as well, it definitely looks like Zoo is able to crank out a 3-lap stint. It did start on the softs as well, so it's going to play into it definitely. But like you say, Rexy is able to use that extra fuel, that extra speed, and might just be able to keep some pressure on Zoo if he can keep this up. And as we see him, he's pulled right up through this section here. He's within a couple of tenths. Real tough section. There's no overtaking opportunities until we get onto the straight here, which is only a handful of corners away.
Yeah, tyre wear across both is very, very even, both on the softs, but definitely Rex won't be able to go the third lap. He's using everything he's got in the tank there on the GTR at the moment. As he gets up into the back, as he just 0.4, 0.3 off the back. Get a good exit out of here, and he's right in the slipstream where he wants to be.
He's definitely in a prime position for an overtake. The only hassle here is I think he will be coming in. I don't see him making another lap on the quarter of tank, or even less by the time they start across the start-finish line. So he may just give Zoo a bit of a bump here, a bit of a help. No, I'll take that back. He's moving alongside for taking the lead of the race. As we see them do the crisscross, Zoo tucks back in behind, trying to get as much slip and as much fuel saving as he can. I expect to see Zoo dropping down the fuel map here. The Corvette along this straight is extremely thirsty, so they do what they can to be able to save as much fuel. I love this fast braking zone into this tight right-handed just before we get back onto the GP circuit. And as predicted, Rexy's jumped off into the pits after his first 2 laps, so I don't expect to see him fuel right up. He still has 19% of his fuel tank remaining. It'll be interesting to see where he does pop out if he falls back into the middle of the group. Interesting, actually. We also see Evil One drop into the pits and Ben as well. So Ben is on control, and we can see significantly more tyre wear. I would say double than those around him who have also dropped in the pits. So being on a controller can certainly hurt around this track.
Smurf, Cloakade, and Super Dragon all doing the 3-lap stints here to start.
Yeah, we see a host of people in the pits as well. Dale, Midrisky, Ando. Man, I can't keep track of this. Who's doing what? So yep, Zoo out in front still with a commanding lead over Smurf, who's the first of the second rather of the 3-lap stints. Pulled out to about 22 seconds there, so over 3 laps or 2 laps. Zoo's been able to pull out a commanding lead.
Yeah, all actions in the pit there, very hard to keep up with.
Yeah, everyone driving in all at once at the end of lap 2, so it'll be interesting to see once everyone's done their pit stops. Should all be done by about lap 10, depending on if anyone leaves their medium stint until lap 11.
So the 3-lap runners, we've got Zuzu out in front, Smurf and your mum now in second. He was sitting in fourth or fifth before that, so he's running a 3-lap stint as well, doing well on fuel there on the softs currently. Cloakade also used up a little bit more fuel, doing well again on the softs. He's running that 3-lap stint too, as is Super Dragon, who has just been passed by Rexy on those fresh tyres. And Smooth Market, he actually pitted on lap 1 with that damage, so he's got off the mediums onto the softs, so he's doing a 2-lap stint now, but pulled it back up to 6th.
Yeah, he's doing fantastically smooth. He's definitely got pace. It's just unfortunate that the Supra is a bit of a fuel guzzler, and it doesn't really favour too well for pulling off 3-lap stints. But Evil One as well, so he is the second runner, I believe, of our 2-lap stinters. So Rexy was first, Evil One sitting there in 7th as the second 2-lap stint runner. Following him, we do have Ben as well. So Ben looks like he's potentially underfueled a little bit as well, taking advantage of those 2-lap stints, being able to fuel, having a lighter car and spending less time in the pits as well. And can certainly minimise that pit loss. Following him as well is Midrisky. So we also see Midrisky came in on that lap. He might actually be running 2-lap stints as well, as he's sitting about 3/4 of a tank. So definitely underfueled, considering this is his out lap. Again as well, following Midrisky is another one of the 2-lap stint runners, is Dale sitting in 10th. So he's nearly fueled to the top. Is fresh rubber. He should be good for 3 laps now, as he did start on medium. So that will be able to round out his strategy. Should be able to do 3 lap stints until the home now. Following behind with about 15 second gap is Ando. Not sure if Ando suffered some damage early on. He certainly got pace, and I would have expected to see him a little bit further up. So we might have missed something there.
Yeah, possibly. We'll have to rack our brains about that one. I've missed it.
Too busy focusing on the mid-pack battle that was unfolding in front of us. Spence as well, I believe Spence was caught up in that opening lap drama, so he did fall right back as well. And Spence must have had damage in that opening lap. It just didn't want to show us on our screens. And unfortunately for Corbin as well, he is running at the back of the field as he suffered damage in the opening lap. So really unlucky for Corbin.
We see the battle for 3rd and 4th is really tight at the moment. Cloakade on those couple of lap old now softs, and Rex Buckingham on the mediums manages to get up the inside.
See, that's one of those overtaking opportunities. Cloakade speed limited on the exit there, as he had just a wheel on the grass on the inside of that last right-hander following onto a short straight. Rexy, fresh tyres, able to give it as much acceleration as possible. Was able to get the overspeed into that braking zone. Nicely done.
And now taking off after Smurf, just a 1.6 second gap. He's already pulled out 1.5 over Cloakade, so really utilising that new medium tyre well at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's also very light on fuel, so through this section here, that's a massive advantage for Rexy. I would actually expect to see. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, looking at that, I think we're going to go to the same spot here. I think looking at
Yeah,
the fuel burn, he might be doing a one-lap stint here on the mediums.
I think so. It's definitely what you need to do for the 2-lap stint. It's obviously doing multiples of 2 will end you up at lap 10, and you need to round out for 11 laps somehow. Definitely looks like he's doing a 1-lap stint, which is smart by Rexy. Get it out of the way early. You can certainly find your groove for the rest of the race and finish off strong. See, it's tough coming into the carousel. There's really no overtaking opportunities from here until the final straight. So I'm sure Rexy is able to prove me wrong here and get that jump with fresh tyres against Smurf's worn softs. But, it'll have to be miraculous for that to happen.
And these two are just on 24.5, 25 seconds behind Zuzu at the moment, who's yet to stop. With Zu pitting this lap, can Smurf... Smurf looks like he's pitting as well because he's definitely down on fuel. Obviously, the 3-lapper there, but 25 seconds be enough to get a gap back from a pit stop here, or would you be looking to have a little bit more in hand if your runner behind you was staying out?
Yeah, you certainly need to have a large gap. Pit stops here are about 45 seconds spent in pit lane, so they can lose you anywhere from that 40 marker all the way through to 50 plus, just depending on how much fuel and if you're repairing any damage that you might have succumbed to. So once Zoo comes in, Smurf comes in, and I would also see Rexy come in at the end of this lap as well. Would expect to see him come out around 6th, potentially 7th. It also depends on how many other people will come in on the end of lap 3 as well. So Zoo may see himself hold on to the lead. Who knows?
Yeah, this will be an important one for Rex to get past on the fresh and mediums here. Put him in obviously both pitting this lap, so it'll put him in the key for this next part of the stint.
Yeah, definitely will. We can see Rexy is all over the back of Smurf and has not been able to get that overtake done until we get into this final straight section here. So in the run into the carousel, into the big braking zone, see the last couple of corners before we get onto this giant back. Rexy's tucked in for now. He's prime overtaking opportunity. That GDR is also quite powerful, so should have the legs on the Porsche. We'll see him make this look easy.
Yeah, Zuzu timed it well here. Pretty much used that entire tank. He's down to an oily rag at the moment, but looking back a little bit, Cloakade and Super Dragon also both pretty tight. So
they certainly are. Cloakade is just ahead of Dragon, but he's also got slightly less fuel. He's also used more of his tyres as well. So Dragon doing very well on his mediums for the first 3 laps. We expect to see him potentially do 2-lap stints from here on out. Be interesting to watch for that one. Would expect him to be able to get the jump on Cloakade in the pits here.
So here we are, pit stops for the 3-lappers. Rexy, Zuzu, Cloakade and Smurf, joined by Super Dragon.
I'm seeing a smattering of pit stops there. So, yeah, as predicted, Zoo may just hold on to the lead here unless Evil One has put in a fantastic outlap along with Ben as well. Nope, Zoo's already out of the pits. He's into first turn. He's got about 6 seconds on Evil One. So for Zoo to be able to break out that early on a 3-lap stint and still hold the lead after a pit stop, outstanding.
Yeah, Evil pitting on lap 2 and not able to catch him. So well, Zuzu.
He definitely has. Evil looks like he's put himself in a good position here. He should be good for another 2 laps. Should be coming in at the end of lap 5, and he's sitting pretty with free air in front of him, and he's got a bit of a charging wheel-to-wheel Ben behind him. But Ben's tyres are already looking a bit worse for wear, and it's only going to give Evil One a better opportunity at holding second place here.
Yeah, Evil One starting on the softs, doing a 2-lap stint, looking like he's potentially going for a 3-lap stint on the second set of softs here. So still yet to take his mediums. Maybe leaving them till a little bit later in the race and taking advantage of the soft tyre to try and pull out a bit of the gap now.
Yeah, it certainly will be. We see Rexy has dropped out of the pits behind Dale as well. So Dale, after coming in the end of lap 3, and Rexy coming in at the end of lap 3 as well. Rexy's had to fuel right up from the bottom of his tank, and he's actually dropped just behind Dale as we see him make a move to the sleeping right-hander of the GP circuit.
Yeah, pretty sure Dale went the 3-lapper, but Rexy a lot more fuel than Dale on board at the moment, so definitely fresher tyres as well. Tell you what, Rexy's going to be one to watch. He's only 24 seconds off Zuzu at this point, and pulling that gap down as he goes through every corner. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out, and if those two end up back together towards the end of the race on very different strategies.
Yeah, towards the pointy end, Rexy he's definitely got the pace. He's been able to show that. He's had a bit of an unlucky season with some damage or just some unfortunate races. So it'll be fantastic to see him recover here and pull out a good result. He is typically a Div 1 driver. He's been Div 1 throughout the remainder of last season and even the majority of this. But yeah, unfortunately, has just dropped back into Div 2. So I would definitely expect to see him breaking fight to Zuzu in the closing stages of the race.
So guys, I'm really interested with our takes. Did he pit on lap 2 or lap 3 there? Because he definitely looks like he's potentially either, if he's gone 3 laps, he's potentially short shifted here. But I know he was on the mediums to start with. Captain?
Yeah, as far as I can see, yeah, looking at his lap times here, he's had a 9-minute lap 2, so that definitely means he's come in on lap 2. Got my mediums out of the way after a 2-lap stint, and we'll be doing 3-lap stints until the end of the race now, which will round him out nicely.
There we go. We've solved that mystery, and I'm back on track. Thank you, Captain. I'll tell you what, it's been apart from that first lap there, it's been a relatively clean race so far, and I hope it doesn't put the marker on anyone. But 4 laps in, still got quite a few to go, and fatigue probably not here. It has happened. There's a yellow flag, or is it?
Oh, it's Rexy. No, not Rexy. He's come off. He's got engine damage. Oh, that pace.
I'll definitely not be on the postcard this year, Christmas.
Not after saying that. The old commentator's curse really ugly head once more. Unfortunately, that curse was put on Rexy. He was sitting pretty for a good result, and unfortunately suffered engine damage, front right wheel damage, and front aero. So that's going to be a very, very long lap until we can make it back to the pits. So feeling for you, Rexy. Very unfortunate, mate.
Well, if you don't believe in commentator's curse, then you may just believe it now. Sorry about that one, Rex.
Didn't even need to say his name. So if anyone doesn't believe in it, like I say, just show on that clip.
Well, on that count, we'll see if we can pull up a replay. See what happened. Well, he comes in, too much curb and a bit of dirt into the fence, and that will definitely do it.
Super unfortunate for Rexy. I think I know the corner he went around on being that fast left-hander, and exactly that. If you take too much curb, it's out the other side.
Yeah, that was a bit of unfortunate for Rex, and he was doing pretty well, but we'll get back to the pits and see if he can't pick himself up.
It's going to be a big ask, but he's definitely got the pace. Hopefully he can keep it together and pull off a good result, all things considered.
Yeah, a long way to get back around on this track. It's just frustrating when you have engine damage trying to bring it back to the pits at a much reduced pace. Probably close to a pace that I'd normally run around here without the practice. But Rex would be devastated with that one. Spence and CHH both still behind him, and CHH is struggling off track at the moment as well. So
There's been a few people that have, excuse me, that have struggled in these opening laps. And unfortunately, we see them in 11th, 12th, 13th.
Yeah, just looking
Jumping,
through the pack, Plank, it's got a little bit of damage front left.
yes, it does, unfortunately. I'll also point out that Cloakade and Nerfy Mum for 7th and 8th are sitting very, very close to each other. Cloakade is looking very racy, even on those mediums. Both for an outlap for Smurf and Cloakade, so yeah, he's got very, very squirrely there and has been able to keep it together and still right on that Smurf. So wonder if Cloacade's going for 2 standing here. Smurf's going for 3. It's a bit of a speed there. Oh, Smurf is in the wall. Oh, I don't know if there was any contact there or not, but Smurf is in that left-hand wall on one of the fast sections of this course. Has suffered a little bit of rear damage. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to crack on with that or comes into pits and gets it fixed up. Yeah, the Green Hill certainly living up to its name here and showing no mercy to quite a few drivers, unfortunately.
Yeah, it didn't look like a tap. It just looked like the pressure that Cloakade was putting on Smurf and your bum there just got a bit much, and he seemed to just grab the grass with the front left, and that sent him around and off, and into the barrier with the rear left.
Yeah, it's very easy to do, and unfortunately Smurf has come off.
Oh, and Cloacade's done the same. He's done as well.
Oh no. On that fast left-hander, yep, I do know the section. He looks...
Any chance for a replay of that?
Well, I was watching that live, and he's just come off into the sand trap, so he's got out of it. Lucky if he hasn't.
No damage, so very lucky there, and heading up the straight now with the potential to continue on for another lap on the mediums.
Actually, jumping flat further up as well, we see Dragon and Dale in 5th and 6th going for a real close draft here. I'm not sure if Dale was close enough or if Dragon indeed was able to make an overtake there. But it will be interesting to watch over the next lap.
Ben Evil One and Madrisky in this lap. Super Dragon and Teeks heading past.
We see those 2-lap runners going for their second stop.
Cloakade continues on with Smooth coming up now with a bit of front left, but looks like he's going to choose to push on as well.
Push on.
Yeah, and Smurf with the rear left damage pushing on as well. So both obviously happy with the performance at the moment and think they can manage it for another lap.
Yeah, interesting move by Smurf there. He's doing a 3-lap strategy, so getting that damage on his outlap is definitely going to be the worst time to get it. And unfortunately, he's out for the next 2 laps. Having said that, he might mix up his strategy if he has done his medium stint and is able to do a 3-lapper on mediums instead of a 2. It's definitely a good way to mitigate that. Do 2 laps with softs instead of 2 laps with mediums. So we'll see if Smurf is able to think on the fly and come in and do exactly that.
I'd say well, having a little bit of damage. It's definitely a mental thing. You've kind of got to push past it, and it can go one both ways. The red mist can descend, and you can make more mistakes if you're not adjusting to it, or you can actually just relax a little bit and pace yourself, and knowing that you're not going to be able to set your fastest lap on that particular lap, just taking it a little bit easier. And of course, speaking of fastest laps, with most people running the 2-lap strategy, it's only the 3-lappers that can really set the fastest lap throughout the race until your final lap, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that topic, up in first place, fastest lap holder currently is Zuzu. He did set that time on lap 2. So his outlap was an 8:14.9 and his second lap was an 8:14.1. So Zoo, even on those 3-lap stints, is just punching out those lap times and about 30 seconds in front of Super Dragon.
Yeah, he's definitely the pace of the field tonight, and Yeah, almost halfway through. Just needs to hold it together and stay on track, Sue. Stay on track. Don't let commentators curse be a real thing.
If we talk about everyone, then they've all got an even chance of coming off track, right?
Well, lap 5. Maybe it's time to take a bit of a walk through the field, Captain.
By all means, lead us off. Go nuts.
Yeah, so Zuzu starting on the soft side with that 3-lap stint, currently on the softs again and looking like potentially going through another 3-lap stint here. 30 seconds on the field at the moment with that fastest lap, as you mentioned, an 8:14.167. Of course, here at W2W, fastest laps, they do count towards points as well. You're a lot faster than me, but I believe in our divisions it's 3-all this year for fastest laps captain, so that's a small take out of. That's probably the only one I've got actually, but I'll take it if I can.
No, absolutely. Fastest laps are awarded the division, but if you still get a fastest lap, you still get a fastest lap. So very, very good work there to nudge myself. I'm typically not one to hold fastest laps. I'm a little bit slower than some of those high fastest lap winners, but at the same time, I can also generally keep it together for a stint or race, but unfortunately, doesn't always happen.
So 28 seconds now back down the field. We've got Super Dragon. Super Dragon in the big Corsa Corvette. He's currently sitting 15th in Division 1, so looking for a good finish off to the season here to solidify a few more points. Now, I believe he was a 3-lap stint to start with there, Captain?
Yeah, so he started on softs and is doing 3-lap stints. He will be looking to do a 2-lap on mediums at some point. So
actually, I've got Super Dragon starting on mediums, so I think he's actually already ticked that one off.
Okay, there you go. So Dragon started on mediums and will be looking to do a 2-stop in there somewhere to round out his odd number of laps that he has to complete. So I will just point out quickly as well that Super Dragon and Dale were battling throughout the season for either last place or second last, given that our league operator Fine Moves had to bow out of the season only a couple of rounds in. And yeah, Dragon looks like he's been able to pull that edge on Dale, but we do see them almost side by side on track. I would say that side by side for Nürburgring. Only 7.9 seconds. 40 minutes into a race is still quite close.
Yeah, Dale as well, starting on the medium. He did a 2-lap stint to start with. I think he did do a 2-lap stint on the medium to start with. Out on the softs now. He'll definitely be coming in at the end of this lap.
Yes, he will be pitting on lap 5 and subsequent lap 8 to round out his pit stop strategy. Sitting 6 seconds behind him is Clockade in 4th. He has done a 3-lap stint to begin with and will be looking to come in potentially at the end of this lap with quite a bit of fuel left over. So I don't see him going another lap and a third on a quarter of a tank. So should be looking to get his mediums out of the way, go back to those softs, chase after Dale.
I think that's definitely the case.
Yeah, it would make sense if he's able to do 3-lap stints. He definitely needs to do that 2-lap stint somewhere in the mix to round things out.
So 1.2 seconds back from Clockade, we've got Evil One in the Lexus there, looking resplendent in the black and green. Strategy so far for Evil One, 2 laps on the softs, back out on the softs again now. Now, has he had another pit at some point through there, Captain?
No, GC Sport just likes to make things a little bit difficult for commentators who are not particularly keeping track of pit stop strategies. But we can see, he's coming on lap 2 and lap 4. So he's on his out lap now and we're looking to come back in on lap 6.
There you go. You think with 8 minutes a lap here, we'd be able to keep up? That all happens in about 3 seconds, and then it's over with the pits there. Heading back to 6th, Wheel to Wheel Ben. Ben we saw with a little bit of an off on lap 1. Thankfully, didn't need damage there, and came in, I think, on pit on lap 2. So.
Yeah, he was able to escape damage in the first lap spin, and being able to crack on with his strategy as intended.
Sitting with the 2-lap stints at this stage, soft and soft, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him run mediums just yet. His lap times certainly look like he's been doing softs for the entire race so far.
And a little bit back down the track, Smooth Blanket sitting in 7th. Smith started on the mediums, on the soft now, and managing that front right damage quite well, I must say.
Yeah, certainly is. Looking at his time so far, as he comes under the bridge, or almost under the bridge on this back straight here, he's able to punch out a 7:33, which is honestly very respectable. So, given the damage as well, even more so, he's definitely been able to show his pace here.
And quickly running through the rest of the pack, a couple of seconds back to Midrisky from Team Leftovers. Smurf and your mum sitting in 9th. Spence, another one of the Leftovers in 10th, 15 seconds behind Smurf. And then Ando, Rex and CCH all having a bit of an initial start and still coming through the pack now. As we see Super Dragon and Dartix in the pits.
Yeah, so those guys sticking true to their strategy, also Cloquet as well. So those three look like they're on the same pit stops at the moment. I believe the only person that hasn't done a medium stint so far would be Dale. Also see Smooth dropping in as well. He's flashing red on his fuel tank and he has just a touch of damage to fix up on. So might drop him back into the clutches of Smurf, who's only a couple of seconds behind.
Dale did actually start on the mediums and then switch to the softs on lap 2.
That's right. Yep. So they actually all of the drivers in the pits now should have their medium stint completed. Okay, just dropping off them at the moment.
Strategy playing its part. Love seeing the pit teams get to work here. One of my favourite things about one of the introduced in Gran Turismo. But I could critique it. I love to critique it, especially when I'm sitting there in the pits. But at the same time, it's a good chance, especially here, to grab a quick drink and a bite to eat if you're behind the wheel and get ready for another lap of the green hell.
Yeah, look, you've got 45 seconds to rejig yourself in your sim if you are indeed in one, and like I say, take a swig of a drink and just relax for the first time in about 25 minutes. So it's fantastic to see pit stop strategy try and work into the races as well. It's not just flat out here. We do pride ourselves in overtaking people into pits. It's certainly something that you can do here. So for the likes of Dragon, I wouldn't be too stressed that he has Evil One, Ben, and Midrisky in front of him. Even though Dragon's about 30 seconds or so behind Ben. He's also got 2 extra pit stops to do. That Ben having 2 extra stops to do than Dragon. So definitely keep an eye on him at the end of this race. See the rest of the field fairly well spread out at the moment as well. So apart from obviously Evil One and Ben on the same strategy.
Yeah, Ben sitting behind Evil One, definitely using more fuel at the moment. Well, actually, only a little bit, sorry. I was comparing that to Midrisky, not Evil One as they should have been there. So both looking after the tyres. Ben using up a bit more tyres than Evil One, though, at this point in the stint.
Yeah, Ben, again, being on that controller is certainly hurting his tyre management. It's showing absolutely zero loss in pace. But unfortunately, being on controller is really tough to manage those tyres and keep them in good condition. Midrisky, despite his early spin, or early half a spin, has actually been able to claw back a really respectable position here. He's doing his 3-lap stints, sticking true to his strategy, and I think he'll get the jump on Evil One and Ben through the pit stops. So it'll be down to Midrisky and Dragon, I think, for 2nd and 3rd place. So Smurf is out on mediums here, so he should be able to finish up those in 2 laps. Sitting in 9th at the moment. and then he'll be able to run those softs the remainder of his race.
Yeah, Smurf not doing too bad after that little spin earlier. Definitely looking to track down Smooth Blanket there. 17-second gap at the moment.
Again, if he can keep on top of his pit strategy, certainly not out of the question. That Smooth can be overtaken, succumb to Smurf in that Porsche. We do see Rexy starting to make some moves again as well. He's been able to pull the gap to Spence back down to about 4.5 seconds. Looks like Rexy is staying true to his 2 laps stint as well, besides obviously catching that unfortunate damage in lap 4.
Yeah, he was very unlucky there to catch that damage again. Rexy, I'm so sorry, mate.
Commentator's curse. It rears its ugly head.
I swear it wasn't me. There are no voodoo dolls sitting here at the moment, because of course, pretty decent battle for the championship at the moment as well. So, teams championship here at Wheel to Wheel, always a fun kind of thing to look at as we get towards the end of the year. And your team, mate, I got to congratulate the 13R Autosport team. You guys are absolutely miles ahead at the moment, and will definitely bring home the championship this season. But for second, Leftovers, Corsa, T-Rex Racing, and Dam Racing are all within 600 points. So it's in fact there's less than 50 points between second and third at the moment. So the second and third step of the podium there, it's going to be a tough one to see who makes the most out of this round and who ends up on top. Well, second, I suppose.
Yeah, who ends up at the best of the rest, basically. But yeah, thank you. We have been able to pull out a fantastic teams championship. Every single one of the boys at 13R Autosport have improved on their driver value, and me as a team captain have now got the hard task of figuring out who I can keep under our Season 8 budget cap. Our team size is dropping to 6. That instantly means I need to get rid of 2. And it also needs a third because everyone's outperformed their previous season driver value. So we've done plenty of practice lobbies, plenty of instructional videos from myself to try and pull the boys up, and they've been able to use them and take advice really, really well. And testament, we've been able to walk away with the team's champ. So thank you, Norton.
Yeah, and that's what Wheel Wheel's all about. If you're watching it here and considering it. Sorry, Spoke. Jump in there, mate.
No, I was just saying, yeah, boys.
Yeah, Spoke, fellow team member there. You have come out and smashed it for your first season, mate, so massive congratulations go to you.
Congratulations to you, Cap, mate. You've done a good job teaching us what to do and improving our skills, and like I say, it's been a pleasure driving the season for you, mate. It's been a good bunch of guys, and it's been, awesome.
Yep, fully agreed.
And of course, that's what teamwork is all about. If you're sitting back and watching this on YouTube and thinking of getting involved, it is a team sport here, and we all practice with each other during the week and look to improve. So jump on the Discord server and look up Wheel to Wheel Racing. As we see Zuzu now finishing up his second stint and into the pits. Will he go mediums now? He's got such a huge gap, or will he stick with the softs here for another 3-lap stint?
Yeah, look, it's really Zoo is in a race of his own. He's receiving no pressure from anyone, especially after Rexy dropping off there. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if either one doesn't have to pit, which he does anyway. So yeah, Zoo's without a doubt going to hold on to this lead here and potentially run his medium stint right in the middle, settle into a groove, running those softs for the remaining 4 or 5 laps.
Coming into the pits now as well.
Touching on the same topic of our team champs, we have been very lucky to secure a few of our season sponsors by the likes of Dodgy. He's been a wheeler and dealer for Wheel to Wheel, no pun intended. But he was able to secure Races World for another season, being this one that we're all watching now. Also have Next Level Racing as a sponsor for us, Agnian Imports, and also Future Youth Streetwear. So without you guys, we would really be struggling to pull the streams. And each one of those sponsors have actually pulled out a bit of a prize for some of our winners of our divisions and our team's championship. So stay tuned. We'll have an awards night coming up shortly, and should be able to dish them out.
Just looking at the race here between Evil One and Ben, both of them pitting again that lap. But Evil One switching this time to the mediums. Ben in about 8 seconds behind him in fifth. He's gone for the softs again. So Ben running 3 2-lap soft stints so far. Evil One running soft, and now onto the medium. So I dare say we'll see Ben putting a bit of pressure on Evil One this lap. That could be one to stick with. In fact, already taking a half a second out just on the start of the GP track here. So
yeah, that's no surprise. It also looks like Evil One has certainly underfueled. He's sitting just under half a tank. Really wants to maximise the time you lose being on the harder compound tyre. So being a lighter car, definitely going to help on this 20-kilometre circuit here. So,
and in fact, while we're talking about that, guys, Super Dragon just put a clean pass on Madriski, or Madriski potentially just lifting a little bit and letting him pass there. So that's a switch for what's currently second and third.
Yeah, Dragon looking like he's making moves. Midrisky is sitting on a 3-lap strategy as well as Dragon, but Dragon has just come out of the pits on that last lap and been able to make that move stick with some better quality tyres. So very well done.
Well, you must be getting different info to me there. I thought they were both running a 3-step strategy at the moment, and I'm pretty sure neither of them pitted on that lap, actually.
Actually, that is a good point. I wonder if Midriski's pulled something out of the bag and is going for a 4-lap strip here.
Oh, the quarter of a tank left. Surely not. I think maybe he's just used a bit more than he was after, but he's dropping back a bit from Super Dragon now, so almost a 3-second gap already.
Yeah, look, I would honestly say that he is going for a 4-lap stint here. It looks like he's come in lap 4.
Yeah, he did a 2-lap stint on softs to start with. Went back out on the softs again. Could be right there, actually. That'd be one to watch.
I wonder if he's trying to change things up a little bit, figure out how to make 11 laps instead of 10. So look, Midriski running in third after that first lap incident. Even Dragon as well. He was caught up in that. They've both been able to pull back to second and third. So outstanding moves, boys.
Oh, Evil One has gone off.
Ooh.
He's in fifth now if we can get a replay. No damage. Wow.
Well, we should be able to pull something on that. We'll have a look and see what happened.
Beautiful.
Now, it seems I have went back too early, so I've missed it. Sorry, boys.
Not a problem. All we know is that he's been lucky to escape damage and is cruising around on those mediums. So maybe that muscle memory is certainly just inflicting a bit of hurt to his mind there. But again, look, being able to avoid damage and crack on with his race.
He's well into his stint as well, although relatively fresh-looking mediums. I'm definitely getting some interesting data here at the moment, guys. I apologise.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep track of people doing one laps on their mediums, 2, some 3. It's hard to know who's run what.
And guys, just looking back to Madriski did stop on lap 2 and lap 5.
Yep, so he's on those 3-lap stints then. he potentially started on those mediums and is able to do that second lap in, and
He's
then
gone softs
round
the
out
whole
on
way
three.
so far.
He started on softs, did he? There you go.
He did, mate, from 4th position. Started on softs, ran 2 laps, and then softs again for 3.
Interesting moves. We'll see where he pulls his medium stint out and see if he can hold on to a podium position here. We have also missed that as well, but we can see Ben sitting in 4th, has gotten the jump on Evil One and been able to pull out about a 4-second gap already. So Evil One suffering on those mediums against the speed and pace of Ben.
How hard is it to adjust after a couple of, once you're in the groove on the softs to head out there on the mediums? Is it as tough here as it is on most other tracks?
Yeah, without a doubt. This track is unforgiving as well. So every sector and every time that you do come around it, your tyres are in a different state of wear, your car's in a different fuel percentage as well. So, it can really mess with you, and we've seen it come a couple of times. We see Evil One just take a little bit of grass there as well in 5th, and he's doing that one lap on mediums. Seems to be playing with his head a little bit.
He's definitely on the ragged edge there, missing the grip of the softs, but yeah. Stick with it. He'll be on. He has actually used a short field on this one, hasn't he? So he's, as you mentioned, they're doing a 1 lapper on the mediums and then straight back in and back onto the softs.
Yeah, looking to really, like I mentioned before, really maximise the pace of your car being on that harder compound, lighter fuel load. Should mean that you are able to crack out a quicker lap time. But we did just get a bit of an echo there. No, it's gone.
Yeah, apologies for the echo, guys. Bit of technical difficulties. We're back on track now.
It's not a wheel-to-wheel stream if everything goes swimmingly, right?
Well, apparently the cord that I have doesn't reach all the way to the door to let the dog out. So.
Dogs, they sometimes rule our lives. We see Evil One still in 5th if we're on with him spoke. Yeah, big tank lapper. Just takes a little bit too much curb. Really not able to adjust quite as quickly as he may have liked on those mediums. Okay, so we see Zuzu up in 1st, 20-second gap on Super Dragon there. Is sitting pretty still, coming around for his last lap on his current stint. And we'll be coming in for the final time at the end of lap 8. We do see Midrisky and Super Dragon there, coming in for their second last stop. Wonder if Super Dragon will be putting those softs back on.
Evil One's in as well off that medium. He'd be glad to see the back of those.
Yeah, he would be very keen to get back on all those softs. You see Dale as well, claiming a podium spot on the racetrack at the moment, sitting pretty in 3rd, about 10.8, 10.9 seconds, just over that now, 11 seconds behind Ben. So Dale still could be a dark horse in this strategy here, doing the 3-lap stint.
Yeah, I think the battle for the 2nd and 3rd on the podium here is actually potentially a little bit tighter than it looks so far. So I dare say Zuzu definitely has the gap at this point of the race. Of course, still got his mediums to come as well.
Yeah, just because you're not up on the position on the track doesn't mean that pit stop strategy is all done and dusted. It can certainly look like we'll see Super Dragon and potentially Dale right up there as we approach lap 10. Or when we approach
Smooth
lap 10.
Blanket comes out just in front of Spence there for 8th and 9th.
Spence is going to be on slightly warmer tyres, but also slightly more worn as well. So they would be rather close in this GP section of the track. Smooth running those 2-lap stints is definitely going to have that little bit more pace on Spence, just in terms of power out of those corners and up some of these hills. So would expect to see Spence try and hold on for as long as he can, get a bit of a fuel save, a bit of a faster time on the straights there.
Tell you what, Spencer's doing really well at looking after his tyres here. They're in great condition on the final lap of his stint here before he comes in next time by.
Yeah, Spence, fantastic work on time management there, mate. You've done really well. Further downfield as well, unfortunately, Corbin has managed to pick up some full engine damage. He's sitting in 13th. Something bad must have happened drastically there. It's the only thing that aren't damaged is his right 2 wheels. So big off for CCH there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely not been a lap 7 that Corbin had like to remember. I'll definitely give him a shout out on that M&M's livery. I absolutely love it there with all the different colours. And the sign on the back, if you ain't first, you're last. Unfortunately, that's where he is at the moment with that damage, and bring it back around to get a new engine. This is like NASCAR, baby.
Yeah, big shout out to the Shake and Bake boys. Those liveries have turned out fantastic for season 7. So fingers crossed, you'll be able to pull out something. Actually, not even fingers crossed. I'm sure you'll be able to pull out a fantastic livery for season 8.
Oh, I'm already looking forward to it. Every year, and look, I've only been involved for the last 2 seasons, but every season the quality of the liveries just goes up and up, and absolutely love the team cohesiveness across most of the teams this year, and everyone running that same theme. I think everyone's pulled it off a little bit differently, but I absolutely love it. So looking forward to seeing what happens for season 8. And what new liveries we've got. I'm already working on a couple for you, captains, so pretty excited to see what we could potentially come up with there, and definitely a favourite pastime of mine is sitting there in the livery editor coming up with something unique.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've got to send out a big thank you to yourself, Moulton. You've been able to pull off some fantastic liveries for me. I have spent a few hours in the livery editor myself, but my creative flair is nothing compared to yourself. So big thank you again.
My pleasure, and all of the 13R boys looking fantastic this year with the red and black skin, and just sitting on with Zuzu out the front of the pack at the moment. Really got to give it to Damn Racing too. I love that teal on the black. Very resplendent out on the track. Well done, guys.
Running a little bit further back in the field, we can see Cloquet starting to pull that gap to Dale down. They are running only a couple of seconds between each other, and then the battle for fifth actually is really, really hot. We can see Midrisky looking to make a move around Dragon in this uphill section of the course. Tuck just back in behind it, both on an outlap. Midrisky is not, I don't think, going to be able to get the overspeed here. I have to tuck back in until the back straight.
This is shaping up a good battle, guys. The 3 in front of them, Ben, Daltex, and Cloquet, all will be pitting this time by, and they're not that far off the back, especially if Tix and Cloquet. So Dragon and Madrisky doing fantastic here. This could potentially be the battle for second in my eyes.
Yeah, it honestly can. It looks like they've both got 2 more stops, or at least Dragon has 2 more stops to do. And Midrisky will likely also have to do his medium stint as well. So I dare say Midrisky and Dragon are going to remain fairly close on track for the rest of this race. So you see them get really close to Cloquet here. They've pulled that gap down real quick. So they're going to want to try and find a way around really, really quick.
I think Dragon potentially in the hot seat at the moment, tyre-wise. He's already run his mediums as he looks up the inside wall.
He's showing the nose.
There's no gap there.
That is a brave section to try and show the nose and pull yourself offline. It really is single file here, unless someone does make a mistake. So the famous YouTube corner, you've got to be very gentle on your throttle on the exit here, as we see them all make it through nice and clean. Yeah, look, I dare say that Dragon and Spence are going to potentially fly past Cloquet down the back straight here. Really no overtaking opportunities until then.
Yeah, so just back to that point, Dragon did start on the mediums. He's run a couple of softs since, and I believe Madriski has run nothing but softs so far. So he'll definitely be wanting to take advantage of the slipstream down this straight and get in front and try and build a little bit of a gap. But tell you what, Super Dragon looking after the fuel and
Dragon's
potentially
going
a bit better.
side by side with Cloquet.
Okay, runs off.
Unfortunately, comes off second best in that side-by-side effort there. Has just picked up a bit of damage. The only consolation is that it is his in-lap. So was coming into the pits anyway. Only adds a couple of seconds by the time he gets that all repaired. Yeah, we do see Madriski and Dragon come flying through onto this back straight. As we see Dale really trying to avoid that slipstream there, staying off the side of the racetrack.
Yeah, he's got enough of a gap, but Super Dragon and Madriski definitely have the pace on him up there at the moment. Almost 10 k's an hour difference as he tries to break the toe as they're catching him.
Yeah, Madriski's not looking to hang around either. He's made the move on Dragon throughout that straight.
Yeah,
interesting to see if those two can keep close to it. Madriski's certainly been able to show his pace. I wonder if Dragon's going to be able to keep with him. We've seen him bunch up real tight in that last braking zone. Dale feels off and jumps in. It's so hard to know who's on track for different pit stops. And, you really want to try and get past someone, but they may be coming into the pits at the end of that lap and give you that position nice and easily.
Yeah, Super Dragon will be wanting to try and make the most of this GP track here. It looks like Madriski's just been able to pull out just a half a second there, and that'll be really important with that switch to medium tyres coming up.
Yeah, Madriski's really going to want to try and pull away in this and build up that gap as much as he can. And like you say, break out that gap as he still has his medium tyres to go.
Spence coming in the pits now too. He is right down on empty. Almost no fuel left at all. He's timed that one to perfection.
So we also see Cloquet's just come into the pits, ducked back out as well. So he's all fixed up, good to go for another stint. I can see him doing 2 lap stints, from my information. No, sorry, I take that back. He's been doing 3 lap stints, so he will be good to go until the end of the race now. As is Dale. He's also sitting in 6th. He's also good to go until the end. Fully filled, fresh tyres. 3 laps to go.
Another one still to take the mediums, guys. Zuzu out front. Looks like he's potentially leaving it to the end.
Yeah, he looks like he'll be in this lap, given his tyre wear. Would be surprised if he's not, but he will be looking like he's jumping on mediums at the end.
He's managed to build a massive gap on the rest of the field at the moment. Currently 56.5 seconds ahead of Madriski, who's in second place, still battling with Super Dragon right on his tail.
Yeah, Madriski with a fantastic recovery, as is Dragon as well. So being right towards the back of the field on the first couple of corners, being able to pull it back to second and third. We see Dragon take a little bit of curb there at one of the fast sections of this course.
A little bit. That's an understatement of the day.
Oh, I don't know how he kept that together.
Way up over it.
The Corvette's a very stable car, but I don't know about that. So you see the slipstream effect taking big chunks out of that lost time on Madriski. So certainly been able to hold on to the back of him. as they make their way through their second lap of this stint.
Yeah, that was his best up to this sector so far. Super Dragon really looking to make the most of it. And do you risk it now? Do you push ahead?
He's just dropped the dirt again as well. He's going to lose that slipstream from mid-risky, but keeps it on the track. Hopefully he doesn't have dirty tyres and he can recover and pull that now 1.3 seconds back. But a bit of a moment for Dragon there. Was able to gather it together and keep it on the black stuff.
Yeah, still got slightly better tyres. Just, in fact, both of these guys managing tyre wear really, really well through this race.
Yeah, they've put in a lot of practice, those two, as is quite a lot of the other drivers in the league. We really need to try and focus on tyre wear and make or break the race here. Oh no, Midrisky's wide. He's just dropped dirt. Sorry, just dropped a wheel on dirt and has unfortunately got front left damage and a bit of aero. It's really going to hurt him as we're coming through a tight and subsequent fast-flowing section of this course. So big mistake there from Midrisky, unfortunately.
That's massive in terms of this race. He really needed to get out and make a bit of a gap there on Dragon with the medium still to come. So, still going to be a tough fight out to the end here for these last two places on the podium.
Yeah, that's instrumental in how the tail end of this race is going to shape up for Midrisky, unfortunately. But the lucky thing is that he is on his in lap, but still has to try and drive a little over half a lap with front end damage. We can see it's happen many a times throughout practice. People just aren't used to driving with damage, and they come off giving themselves further damage, and they bring themselves further behind the leaders.
Just looking back in fourth at the moment, only 18 seconds behind Vidrisky as Wheel-to-Wheel Ben in the Supra. Looks like he's on the mediums at the moment, filled up. Could he make the end of the race from here? Is he going through to the end from here?
There's no way that he's able to make it to the end. He's already used a quarter of a tank of fuel, little over halfway through a lap, and I would expect to see him in at the end of lap 10, potentially. If he's still got a... actually, he's on mediums now, so he may be looking to do a one lap stint, coming at the end of lap 9, and get back onto those softs for lap 10 and 11.
I tell you what, if he had have had the foresight to look at a 3-lap stint somewhere through there, he might be right on the back of them. But maybe the quick lap on the mediums and back onto the softs, and see if he can pull that gap back a little bit to Midrisky now in third.
Oh, look, jumping back in with Midrisky, I had to say it, didn't I? Commentator's curse. He's just hit the wall. Just pulled off some more front-end damage and, front-end wheel damage and engine damage. So, big oof for Midrisky there. Big off as well. So, unfortunate there. He's really going to suffer with that.
So tough in these Super Enduros to just manage the concentration levels. It's so easy for the mind to wander, and when you have that little off and do a little bit of damage, as we see him just sliding wide again and hitting back the wall again, that's a real shame there for Midrisky. He'll be seeing nothing but red under the helmet and the sim rig there.
That's super tough as we see him try and give as much room as possible to Ben as he comes flying past there for third position, but yeah, Midrisky, very unfortunate to suffer some more damage and another off. He just needs to limp it back to the track. Limp it back to the pits and try and make up what he can for the remaining 2 laps of his race.
Yeah, still has the potential to salvage potentially a top 8 finish here if he's really lucky. But it was definitely on for a podium there. That's a real shame for the Leftovers team there, and I know the team looking for a really good finish to the season here to try and solidify that second place in the championship. So, yeah, could have lots of complications, that one, Midrisky.
Yeah, it's tough when you're your points count towards the team total as well, and when everything is as tight as it is, as we've mentioned before, with the team championship leaderboards, 50 points separating second, third, and fourth. So final spots on the podium, very much so up for grabs.
Speaking of the podium, Zuzu just come in for his final pit stop. Back out in first, still with a 54-second gap, although that might update in just a second. But out on the mediums now for his final stint, 2 laps.
Final dash, 2 laps, looking to bring this home with a stonking lead at the moment. 54 seconds as we see Dragon come into the pits. So that is only sure to jump out post 1 minute. We see Ben jump into the pits as well. So he's done his one lap on mediums, and will be keen to finish off strong with those 2 laps on softs. We'll also see Evil One sporting that damage. Evil One with damage, sorry.
We've missed that. That's happened late in the lap then. Engine damage, so it must have been a big off, potentially coming off the end of the straight. Yeah,
I would say so. Giving a quick look at his lap time there, it's only just ticked over 8 minutes 40. So I would say he's come off right at that tail end of the braking zone of the back straight. Midrisky sporting that damage as well, has been able to limp his way back into pits, along with Smooth as well, also sporting a bit of front end damage there.
Yeah, definitely starting to see a few mistakes now as we're an hour 17, hour 18 into this race. The guys have been at it, and just a couple of laps to go now. Just over a quarter of an hour, and they'll be done. It's definitely a proper endurance race here. Absolutely love these super enduros, but thank goodness we're not doing them every week. That's all I can say.
Yeah, look, the super enduros are very tough. An hour and a half in the saddle, not to mention the laps that we do, is huge. Tunnel vision certainly sets in. You can succumb to a bit of a mistake just by losing concentration. We do see a few people that have done that. And as I say that as well, Corbin back in 13th has just hit the wall again, sporting some front and rear aero and left tyres. So Corbin not having a great round, but props to him. Even though he's a few minutes off the lead, he's been able to crack on, and he's determined to race as long as he can and finish as strong as possible. So congratulations to Corbin for having the will to push on. A lot of other people would have just given up by now. So take pride in that, mate. Take pride in that. Running in a reverse order, actually, jumping up to 12th. Ando also sporting some engine damage. He's not had a great lap. He's sitting in a whopping 180k down the back straight, just over half of what you would normally be able to do.
If someone comes out on the track with a Reliant Robin, they may catch him at this kind of pace. But Ando had a pretty good season so far in the Div 2 Championship. He's currently sitting third there for Shake and Bake. So look for Ando and Corbin, not the finish they wanted to the season, but still a great race so far across the season here in season 7 of Wheel to Wheel. So hopefully keeps it on the podium there, Ando. Good luck.
Yeah, the beauty of the way our leaderboards are calculated, you don't have to perform on top of your game every single round. We do race 12 rounds overall, and your best 8 rounds, your points from the best 8 rounds count towards your individual total and towards the team's total. So, this is potentially a drop round for them, and the benefit of them pushing on means that they won't suffer a DNF penalty, and penalties do stick with you regardless of what round they occur. So really just cracking on to avoid those negative points.
Just having a quick look through the field here, wondering if other than to fix damage, anyone needs to stop again. Looks like potentially everyone's good to go.
I would, say by lap 10, everyone is done and dusted with their strategy. So the only anomaly there might have been Ben, given that he has done his medium stint. He is good to go to the end as well.
And in fact, Ben only 3 seconds behind Dale Teeks, and that's definitely the potential in 2 laps to try and track that down, both on the soft tyres. Teeksy has used a fair bit more fuel, so I'm just wondering if he's on a 3-lap stint to finish this off. I think he is.
Yeah, Dale's definitely on a 3-lap stint to finish this off, so he'll be on his middle lap at the moment. And that time back to Ben is really just dropping real quick. So, Ben does use those tyres a lot more being on a controller. If he is able to make use of the better tyre life at the moment and jump in front of Dale, he might just be able to hold it off. But, Dale is fantastic on these tyres and can certainly go to pay dividends in the closing lap of this race.
Yeah, that's definitely the battle out on track at the moment to watch, and for the podium as well. So it's definitely sheep stations.
Yeah, look, hour 22 into the race, and we see a couple of people getting real close towards the end and for a podium. So it's really good to see how individual strategies can play out. Prime example here, third and fourth is completely different strategies. Dale went 2 laps on mediums, Ben went just a single. Dale's also been running 3-lap strats until the end. And, Ben, with that outstanding pace, even though he's had to do 2 extra stops, been able to pull that right back up to Dale. So, anyone's final position on the podium now.
Just a quick update while we're watching this battle. Madriski, after that off, trying to hold out Super Dragon. He's dropped back to 8th, has picked up some front left damage again somewhere around the track, so slowly dropping off the back of Smooth Blanket in 7th now. Bit of a gap still back to his teammate Spence in 9th.
I'm actually wondering if Smooth has done his medium stint yet. He's been doing 2 laps per pit stop, but I wonder if he still has to come in at the end of lap 10. He did spot some damage.
He started on mediums, Captain, so tick that one off.
Okay.
He's all good.
Tick that one off. He's good to go to the end.
Did a 3-lap stint to start, I believe. This battle for third right on now. Ben almost in the slipstream for Teeks. In fact, is in that slipstream now. Right at the time where you want to be too, not far off the big, long straight.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be critical here for both Dale and Ben. He's hovering right on that limit of the slipstream becoming effective, and Dale unfortunately just grabbed a bit of curb there on those fast sweeping corners. That's pulled Ben right into the mix now. He's only a couple of tenths off him as we come into the second carousel. Both keeping it clean. An hour and 25 into the race, and they're still keeping it mistake-free so far. And we see Ben really being able to make use of his pace, and he's definitely going to be setting up for an overtake down this back straight.
Sitting in the slipstream now, 0.5 to 0.50. Starting to reel him in now at almost 10, almost 15 kilometres an hour faster. Teeks just waves him by on the right.
Yeah, even though
move that.
Porsche definitely has the gearing to go a lot faster, if someone's in your slip, you're a sitting duck down this back straight. So smart moves by Dale to sit there. All Dale has to do now is keep with Ben. Ben does have more wear on his tyres. If he's able to stick with him, we might see a role reversal down the final straight there on the final lap.
And of course, while the positions in the race always matter to you individually, in the grand scheme of things, they actually don't matter.
Yeah, they're not as critical here at Weird Wheel. We run everyone's lap times into a big spreadsheet. Race times into a big spreadsheet. Whoever ends up with the fastest race time across all of our divisions will gain maximum points, and then everyone's split up between themselves from then on out. So, battling on track, we've said it many times before, it can actually hurt your overall point scoring, but it's so satisfying to battle and potentially win out that position on track. So it's definitely one of those things that you battle with both mentally and on track. See which one you want to do at the time.
Speaking of a mental battle, guys, unfortunately Corbin has gone in the fence again. Engine damage for another lap here on lap 10. So he's got a long way to go on this lap too, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's only just along halfway. Unfortunately, also on an out lap as well. So he's just come in and repaired a bit of damage, and next lap out, he's suffered a bit more. But them's the tickets, unfortunately, sometimes. But you know, he's making that pit crew earn their wage at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy if I was the team boss paying for that repair bill.
Thank goodness you can just hit reset and start again tomorrow, hey?
The beauty of sim racing. Doing a final run through of the field, if we can, Spoke. Jumping up first for Zuzu, sitting out with just on a 55-second lead on Super Dragon in the same vehicle there. Corvette 1-2 so far, and looking like it'll finish up that way as well. So yeah, Dragon sitting in second, comfortable lead over Ben, who is charging in these final laps. 15 seconds between Dragon and Ben, second and third. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near close enough for Ben to pull that gap right down and take another place in the final lap. Dale Teeks sitting in third. Fantastic drive from Dale, being able to pull off his strategy and stick to his guns and pull off a fourth position so far. Sitting behind him is Cloquet as well. 15 seconds a gap, an hour and a half into this race. So Cloquet doing quite well. I think he suffered a bit of damage earlier on and has been able to pull back and recover quite nicely. So well done, Cloquet, thus far.
And then a first of the actual Div 2 runners, Evil One, sitting in sixth, doing well to come through after a couple of spins and a bit of action earlier on. Just sitting 5 seconds off the back of Cloquet, and in fact, at this particular point in the lap, just catching up ever so slightly. So we'll keep an eye on that gap throughout this lap and see if Evil One can catch up to the back of Cloquet there for a bit of a grandstand finish. Back into seventh, Smooth Blanket. 20 seconds off the back of Evil One and managed to hold off Madriski, who's sitting back there in eighth after really taking it to Super Dragon for most of the race and unfortunately having that off and now just bringing it through in eighth position to try and finish up in front of his teammate Spence in ninth place.
Yeah, following Spence, Smurf just under 30 seconds behind as well. Was doing a really good race. Unfortunately, did suffer some damage as well, so that's brought him back just a touch. And following closely, well, I was going to say closely, but not so close, is Rexy, also sporting several bouts of damage. Has the pace, and unfortunately the GDR is very difficult to drive. It likes to snap and put you in defence at the drop of a hat, and that's exactly what's happened to Rexy, unfortunately. So, final lap, he's sitting pretty in 11th.
Oh, sorry, just looking back behind there, and unfortunately Corbin spinning again.
Corbin again on his out lap, suffering more damage. It's very likely that he is going to get lapped here, believe it or not. Dragon is coming through final couple... Zoo is coming through the final couple of sectors here. Corbin's going to be very speed deficient down the back straight. A fair old chance that Zoo might be able to lap his victim here and see Corbin go a lap down.
I'll tell you what, guys, if I was in Corbin's shoes, I'd be looking for Zuzu to come past just to make this end a little bit earlier. And unfortunately, not his night, but Zuzu running with a fantastic strategy tonight, running those 3-lap stints on the softs. Coming up to the final carousel now and looking to to head up the back straight for one last time. Really fantastic effort. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I've seen Zoo in a couple of practice lobbies throughout the week, and every single one he's been well out in front. And even myself, I've finished third on the overall leaderboards, but I've had no chance keeping up with Zoo. So he's definitely had the pace. He's definitely had the strategy. He's been able to put it all together and pull off a fantastic drive thus far.
Yeah, he's had some mixed results throughout the season. Apart from the first round, he actually started off really well through the second to fifth rounds with some really good 500-plus points hauls, and then struggled somewhat and missed a couple of rounds since then. So Zuzu coming back at the final round here for Dam Racing and looking to maybe jump up the ladder a little bit from his current position in 12th in Div 1.
Yeah, he'll certainly be holding on to that Div 1 status, I believe. He's had a bit of a tough season, but at the end of the day, he's shown his pace quite clearly on this race tonight and has been able to pull out a commanding lead on Super Dragon. So, yeah, hopefully Zoo is able to bounce back in Season 8, come back and work his way back up those leaderboards. We've seen him come through the last couple of corners, final braking zone is done. He's got nothing much more to do than cross that line, takes the lead with the fastest lap on his final lap, an 8:14.054. Zoo, congratulations, mate. Outstanding drive.
Fantastic drive tonight, and we did see CCH just waiting for him there across the line in true enduro fashion. So well done on finishing that one up, mate. Go and grab yourself a beer. But Zuzu, fantastic effort tonight. Just led right from the start and really controlled the whole way through. As we look back at Super Dragon now, coming up the straight for the last time into the left-hander, also on his best lap. Not sure if he's. In fact, he's gone purple, so he could potentially pip Zoo here.
He's gone half a second purple, so a whopping 5/10. It's stunning how close these drivers can actually be on an 8-minute lap. We see him come nearly towards the end of the line here, and we see him get fastest lap on lap 11 with an 8:13.1. It doesn't beat him by just a small margin, is nearly a second. Dragon, fantastic effort. Congratulations on the second place and the fastest lap points.
Impressive there. And also finishing off our podium today, Ben. Ben, thanks for hosting tonight. Fantastic effort. Comes across the line there in third and held off a Dal Teeks there in a really good battle towards the end there. Teeksy on 3-lap stint there, managing it really, really well, bringing the Porsche home in fourth.
As we jump back into fifth there, we see Cloquet running on the ragged edge of his fuel tank, dropping into the finish line there, taking home fifth place. And just behind him as well is Evil One, taking home sixth position after that unfortunate damage. He's done a really good job of recovery there, pulling back into sixth after potentially having a podium.
Done really well there, and in fact set his fastest lap on that last swap there, but just not enough to grab Cloquet. And Madriski now coming up over the hump for the final time onto the pit straight. Really could have been in that battle for the podium, but unfortunate tonight to spin out and ends up finishing almost a minute behind Super Dragon there, who he was originally fighting with. But good effort regardless.
Yeah, finally seeing Spence as well cross his finish line. I know as throughout some practice lobbies and some practice parties, his main goal was to actually cross the finish line. We do have a 3-minute time limit on race continuation. So Spence, you've reached your goal here, mate. Congratulations, you have actually finished the race. Jumping back as well as we see Smurf and Smooth almost cross the line for a show 9th and 10th.
Yeah, that was much closer than expected there. So well done to those guys finishing out the 10. And Rexy made not you on that tonight, but definitely showed some good pace here, bringing it home in 11th. That I've definitely heard quite tough to get through the bumpy track. Tends to prefer the soft ones, but congratulations to Zuzu.
Taking out our lead by nearly a whopping minute. Zuzu, again, congratulations. You've shown your pace throughout the week. You've been able to pull it off at the end of the week as well. Where it all matters, pulled out a fantastic win. Also, big congratulations to Dragon and Wheel Ben. Boys, I think that wraps up both our race tonight and our season. Season 7, Super Enduro, done and dusted, in the bag. Mixed result, mixed damage, mixed strategies. What more can you say? It's been an outstanding season, and we'll see where our leaderboards get updated, see who comes out on top of each of the podiums. But currently, big ups to my team, 13R Autosport, walking away with team champs.
Yeah, congratulations to the whole crew there. It's pretty much done and dusted with almost a couple of rounds to go. So you guys have been the class of the field this year. But yeah, stick with us because post-season we'll have a look at all the final rounds and final point score and a really, really tight battle for second between my team currently, the Leftovers, sitting in second, only 50 points or so in front of V Corsa, who still have a couple of decent results across the night, and T-Rex, Dam Racing and Shake and Bake all nipping at our heels as well. So that'll be a really tough fight for the team's championship for second and third there.
Yeah, it absolutely will be. So very keen to see where everyone ends up. And again, congratulations to our winners and our podium sitters, Wheel Ben and Super Dragon. So Dragon will be super happy with the points that he'll score tonight. Hopefully that'll bring V Corsa up into second place there on the team champs.
Yeah, and I got to say, well done to Dale Tixie as well. He did the commentary previous to this for Div 3, and I know he was trying to work out if he could have a nap after it, but you've done well, kept the fatigue away. A good finish there for you in Div 2 tonight, but congratulations to everyone, and maybe a big thanks to our sponsors as well.
Yeah, again, massive thanks to our sponsors, Racers, Pagnian Imports, Next Level Racing, and Future Youth Streetwear. They've been on board from the start of Season 7, seen us all the way through. Boys, thank you for joining me here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure doing commentary and visuals with you both.
No worries, mate. It's been a good season. Nice way to finish it off. So we'll look forward to what comes forward now.
Indeed. We're going through our polls at the moment for Season 8. We currently have no idea what's in front of us. We will soon see. It will all be revealed.
Definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to coming back as a privateer next season. So just a quick shout out to the Leftovers for having me as part of your team as a fill-in there for the second half of the season. It was great to join you, and fingers crossed we've nailed second. But guys, another fantastic effort from all the Div 2 guys here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to watching the Div 1 race back later in the week.
Yeah, fully agreed with that. Fully agreed. Again, thank you boys for joining me here tonight. We'll wrap things up. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy. Have a good night.